I think that'll do right there. All right. I think we found our storytelling tree today. So, Zach, this is Half Pace Outdoors. I have been gone for quite a while, and I figure it's time for an explanation as to where I have been and what has been going on. So, let's go ahead and talk about that. I had to bring notes to keep my timeline in order because it's honestly been a really rough year, guys, and anybody who knows me knows I am not complaining. I'm explaining. I'm just, this is my story. This is what's been going on. And hey, if it helps somebody else, we do heal, we get better. Um, so over the last year, I've been living with spinal cord injury for the better part of 17 years now. And I went up until the last 2 years without having any major complications other than having to catheterize to urinate. So, over the last year and a half, um, well, I'll just start back at the beginning. Um, Back in January of 23, it was like the day, New Year's Day, I had to go into the hospital because I was going into a sepsis type infection. Um, I was in the hospital for 5 days at that point. I came out of the hospital on antibiotics. We go up to April of 2023, and I had another almost sepsis infection. It was a very bad kidney infection that was antibiotic resistant. It took 4 or 5 different antibiotics before they found a combination that would take the infection out. And at that time, they started doing Botox injections into my bladder muscle. Um, Then we moved to June of 2023. I had a bladder scope that showed absolutely no improvement in the tone of my bladder muscle due to the Botox treatments like it should have. So discussion started about having to have a bladder surgery to enlarge my bladder. Then we move up to August of 2023. And in August, I actually had the bladder augmentation surgery. Um, they took, they cut me 5 inches from my belly button down. They removed the ureter tubes that come out of your kidneys into your bladder off of my bladder. They took the top of my bladder and cut it off. And then they took a section of my uh, bowels out, and they basically make like a little pocket, and they sew that on top of your bladder, and that becomes your new bladder, and then they reattach the ureters. So I went through that. I had an indwelling catheter for about 8 weeks. I had a drainage tube for 2 weeks. And I had a suprapubic catheter for, I believe, 6 weeks. Um, I gotta collect myself a little. So the suprapubic and the drainage tubes came out of the front of my stomach. Those were so much fun to have and a lot of pain. Um, but I healed up from that surgery. I got back into doing what I was doing. And then we move up to December of 2023. And I started passing kidney stones that had been stuck where they were because of pressures in my urinary system. And now they had somewhere to go. So the first stone really tore me up on the inside, and I ended up with another sepsis type infection. And a couple pretty massive sized kidney stones. But they passed in the ureters, no problem, you know, just tearing stuff up along the way. Then we go up to March. March was real fun. I started getting kidney stones coming out of my right side, but they clogged up the ureter, and I had to have a nephrostomy tube put in through my right flank and into my right kidney so that my kidney didn't explode. That was the beginning of March. And then in the end of March, I actually had the surgery to go in. They removed all of the kidney stone sediments and mucuses and stuff like that from my new bladder. They removed all of the stones from my right kidney. They scoped my left kidney, said my left kidney looks fine. There's nothing in there to worry or be concerned about. So then 3 weeks after that, I showed up at the spring camp, fairly healed up, and right now I'm only about a month out of that last kidney surgery. So things are still raw, muscles are still healing a little. But going through all of this stuff has made me have to approach how I live outdoors in a slightly different way yet again. Aside from just having to carry my standard med kit that has my catheter supplies in it. My med kit for a week went into fitting into a 2-liter dry bag about this big and only weighed maybe 2 pounds. To now for a week, my catheters and med supplies, because I have to irrigate my bladder now every single day. My med supply kit has come up to about 5 pounds for a week, which, in order to continue to do what I do outdoors with that heavy of a med kit, I have to rethink how I do things in my pack. Nope, go get your girl. Go get your girl. Go get the boy. Go get your boy. Go on. So one of those things that I am trying to figure out and re-implement is, instead of carrying all of my food, I'm having to figure out what I can live off of that grows wild. And I have to figure that out for just about every season. We are in late April here in Ohio right now. So spring wild edibles are starting to come around in pretty good abundance. Basically, when it comes to food, all I'm going to be carrying is like a 2-day stock and some pack staples. And I really want to get away from carrying any kind of food stocks, and where I'm just carrying, your pack staples. So like a bread mix, cornmeal mix, whatever, some spices. And we're going to be, instead of carrying food, we're going to try to start carrying the lightweight gear in order to obtain our food. And it's going to be a bit of a search and a bit of a learning experience and project. And I really hope that I get a lot more people to start following along in that, because it's something that I feel could benefit just about anybody who watches. There is a lot to learn about the land and what it can offer you. And I feel in my soul that among the trees is where I am supposed to be. And if it is where I am truly supposed to be, then I'm going to figure this out along the way. And I think it's going to be a lot of fun to try to figure it out along the way. So we're basically just going to be expanding on what we've done in the past here at Half Pace Outdoors. If you guys want, I will give you a little bit of a run through of the medical supplies that I have to carry. Now, I do have to start carrying two different types of catheters in my pack. I have always carried the compact cath lights. This is kind of like my standard go-to, but my irrigation syringes do not fit on the outlets of those catheters, so I have to start carrying some of these ones. These basically just a straight cath, but this one has a saline lubrication pack in it, and these are a hydrophilic coated catheter. So when you pop this, it wets the catheter inside, and that's how it lubricates itself. These are really nice to carry. You know, it's all self-contained. Um, I don't have to carry around the extra weight of lubricant because it's already in the pack. And then when I'm done, I can dump the water weight out of these things. Guys, I don't burn these in fire pits. What I carry in for medical supplies is what I carry out for medical supplies. And it's because burning plastics is not good for the environment, the air, the ground, or otherwise. So what I pack in, I pack out. I'm got to keep it as light as possible. So there's that. Every day I have to irrigate my bladder with 60 cc's total of acetic acid, which is roughly 4 ounces of fluid per day, and I have to carry a special type of plunger syringe in order to do that. I'm not going to go into the details of what it takes to irrigate my bladder. If you guys are that curious, you can go and look it up. If there is enough curiosity, leave comments and maybe we'll cover that in another video. I know that I've posted one in the past about how to use a catheter in the woods or outdoors, and it's actually gotten quite a bit of attention and curiosity. So if you want more information, leave a comment. Maybe it's something we'll talk about in the future. When it comes to gear in my pack, I guess what I've changed for gear is I have really started buying better quality tents, because carrying a tent and a tarp outdoors is heavy weight, and I still want a backpack. I don't want to just adventure out of my canoe or kayak. I like hiking, even though my legs are hitched up and I fall all through the woods. I still love to hike. You guys can't see my hiking staff right now because it's helping hold my phone up. But I still love to hike. I actually Sarah bought me a brand new backpack about a year and a half ago. Excuse me. And I have not got to use it yet. So that's something we are going to be doing this summer. I really want to thank everybody for the continued support, because even during the time that I have not been active on the channel, those of you who were really close with us continued to message me, continued to email me, check up on us, make sure that I'm doing all right, make sure the boys are doing okay, checking up on Sarah every now and then. It's the support has been absolutely phenomenal, and we are grateful for it. So we're really looking forward to getting the channel back up and going. I am looking forward to it. The family kind of wants to stay out of it this time, and we're not big on putting our children up on social media a whole lot. So you guys will get glimpses of the boys, but not videos of the boys. This channel is going to make some changes. You guys will see those coming up in videos. We're not going to be just focused on life outdoors. I've had some experiences over the last few months, and I want some answers, and we're going to go try to find those answers. And I don't want to get too far into it because there's a lot that's going to be going on, and I want the curiosity factor. You guys will see what's going to happen, what we're going to be doing, what we're going to be looking for, and things like that. Some of it here at home, some of it in some other fairly deep woods places that I've been, and yeah, just I've had some experiences that have left me with some questions, and I didn't understand that I had those experiences until after the fact. So you guys will get to see if you tag along. It's going to be pretty exciting. A lot of it is going to be me doing this stuff solo. And that's kind of how most of this has been. It's me solo. So I will see you guys on the trail, on the boats, in the woods, in the fields, or wherever we happen to end up being. I once again thank you all for the support, and I really look forward to who ends up joining in the adventure. Leave a comment you guys want more information on the medical side of things, then it's something we'll cover more in detail in a later video. We will be going over my pack contents because that's changed pretty drastically from what it was when we were on here last. I really appreciate it, guys. I will see you all in the next one.